What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video here on B-Mills Wrestling. With WrestlePalooza officially in the rearview mirror, we can start to look ahead to the next WWE Premium Live event, which is Crown Jewel, which will be held in Perth, Australia on October 11th. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying to predict the entire match card for Crown Jewel. Before we get into the video, if you guys are not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. And don't forget to leave a like down below. Alright guys, let's get into these predictions. If you guys tuned into Crown Jewel this time last year, you would know that we had a brand new thing introduced to us, and that was the Crown Jewel Championship. It's basically where both world champions go head-to-head, both for the females and for the men. Last year, we saw the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes go against the world champion Gunther, and same thing with the women with Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. And ultimately, it's not, for title. It is basically just for the Crown Jewel Championship. They tried to create a lot of hype around this title last year. It was just this ginormous looking title. It was very stupid. There's also a ring that goes with it. A lot of people, including myself, are not a fan of this format because it just feels like non-canon. It feels like it's not important. It doesn't feel like stuff gets important for WWE until after this, and then the build up to Survivor Series, and then the Royal Rumble, and then you get into Mania season, obviously. But this year, it is a little different for at least the men's side. So the first match that we have that has obviously already been confirmed for Crown Jewel is the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins taking on the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. I am actually excited about this match. Like I just said, this one I am down for. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther last year, it was non-canon. There was just nothing, there to go with in the future. It was just a good wrestling match, and that was it. The storyline was bad. This year, though, they can actually do something with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins because of all the history that they have. Obviously, ever since Cody came back to the WWE in 2022, Seth Rollins was one of his greatest rivals, right? They had an awesome trilogy back in 2022 with Cody winning all three of those matches, all fantastic matches, and the storyline between those two was absolutely awesome. And obviously, if you guys tuned into WrestleMania 40, you saw that Seth Rollins, played a big part in helping Cody Rhodes finally finish his story and becoming WWE Champion, sacrificing his body on night 1 in the main event against Roman and The Rock, tagging with Cody, and then on night 2, getting involved in that chaotic Bloodline Rules main event with Cody versus Roman, and then ultimately sacrificing his body so that Roman would get distracted, and then Cody could ultimately win the WWE Championship. So there's just so much history between Cody and Seth, and that's why I'm really excited for this match. As for who wins this match, though, I don't really know. I feel like it's very up in the air because I feel like, Seth Rollins, he's lost a ton to Cody Rhodes. He's actually 0-22 apparently in his career versus Cody, which is kind of crazy. I guess that includes all the dark matches and stuff like that. He's never gotten a win over him. And he obviously, like I said, he lost that trilogy in 2022. I feel like it is a good time to give him the title, give him the win in this match, especially with, the storyline they're kind of telling right now. It's kind of QB1 being Cody Rhodes versus the ultimate alpha in Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is basically telling Cody Rhodes, why do you get to call yourself the quarterback one and say that nobody else can be the quarterback one of WWE? I can be. Obviously, he's been a multi-time champion. He's kind of been overshadowed a little bit in his career by bigger stars like Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and guys like that. So I feel like, this is a big moment for Seth Rollins if he can finally get over the top guy in the WWE, kind of solidifying himself as the top guy, even if people still don't think like that after the match. But I feel like him winning would just be crucial. I don't think that it would hurt Cody too much. I feel like you can continue to do what you're doing with Cody. I feel like Seth Rollins should win this match. But, knowing WWE, I feel like the babyface Cody Rhodes is going to win for a couple reasons. I think, obviously, because, he's still going to be quarterback one after this. I don't think that they're going to change that narrative. They still want him as the top guy. Obviously, Seth's the bad guy in this situation. I feel like we're going to see the Vision get out there in this match. But the main reason I really think Cody is probably going to win is because CM Punk might have something to do with this match. I pray to God he doesn't. But I could see, obviously, CM Punk costing Seth Rollins in a way because I feel like we're going to see both Bronson and Braun Breaker in this match coming out to try to help Seth Rollins, and then CM Punk comes out, maybe a few other guys come out, like Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. It's probably going to be one of those crazy Bloodline Rules matches at Crown Jewel, so don't expect a clean one-on-one between these two, although that would be awesome because of the insane chemistry they have in the ring. We obviously have seen that from their past matches, but I think CM Punk is ultimately going to probably cost Seth Rollins in this match because that story is obviously not over. They're going to continue to do Seth versus Punk going past Crown Jewel, and it's probably going to be Team Punk versus Team Seth at Survivor Series War Games, and then I think what happens is they're probably going to have a one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble, and then we finally see CM Punk win back the title, because I don't think that can go all the way to WrestleMania, and I think this story has to end with CM Punk winning back the title. So yeah, I am going to go with Cody Rhodes in this match. Like I said though, super excited for what they can do building up to Crown Jewel. I really want this to play a big factor in like what goes into War Games, because I think that Cody is probably going to be on the War Games team. Initially, I thought it was just going to be all Monday Night Raw guys. Now I'm starting to think some SmackDown guys might be in this match. Maybe John Cena, maybe Randy Orton. So I feel like that could be fun. They have used both brands in these type of matches before. So yeah, I think that, this storyline can just help develop, going into War Games, develop the story going into War Games with Cody and Seth and whatnot. But ultimately, I do think Cody Rhodes will pick up the win in this match and once again be the Crown Jewel champion. And obviously, that brings us to the next match that has already been confirmed for Crown Jewel, that being the new Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer taking on whoever is the current Women's Champion over on SmackDown. That might be Tiffany Stratton, that might be Jade Cargill, and that might be Nia Jax as well. Hopefully it's not Nia Jax. We know that we're going to get a triple threat match between Nia, Jade, and Tiffany on SmackDown for the Women's Championship. I find that match to actually be pretty unpredictable. Now, I don't think Nia Jax is going to win the title by any means. She doesn't need to win it back. That would be so stupid for storyline-wise. Tiffany Stratton I could see retaining for a million reasons, because she's held the title for so long. And in my opinion, I feel like Tiffany versus Stephanie, that's the dream match. If you can do a match with Stephanie at, WrestlePalooza, at Crown Jewel, I feel like Tiffany is the best option out of the three that are in this triple threat match. So that's who I think should go in as champion. I could also see a world where it is Jade Cargill, because, obviously, they've been giving her kind of a big push ever since, WrestleMania, and ever since her really coming back from injury, going after Naomi, winning at WrestleMania, winning at Evolution, winning the Queen of the Ring, and then going all the way to SummerSlam, where I think, more than majority of us thought she was actually going to win the title at SummerSlam just because of the push she was receiving. And at that point, Tiffany's title reign kind of got a little stale. Still is, by the way. But I thought that was the perfect time to pull the trigger. She obviously lost at SummerSlam. She even got a rematch, and, we all saw how that ended, right? In the DQ from Nia Jax. Just a stupid ending. Not a DQ, actually. It ended in a count out. It ended in a count out, and then Nia Jax get involved after the match. That was a stupid ending, in my opinion, but obviously that helped build towards what we're getting, and that's a triple threat. So I could see Jade pinning Nia in this match. I don't think Tiffany's going to take the pin in this match, but if Jade wins, then it would be Jade versus Stephanie. That would still be a cool match, but I feel like they should keep the title on Tiffany, because Tiffany versus Stephanie, like, that is a dream match. That would be such an awesome match. Even if it's not for one of the titles or both titles, I feel like they can put on an absolute banger of a match. Unlike Seth and Cody, though, the storyline, it's just going to be non-existent. Like, this, it's not going to have a story. It's going to feel exactly like Liv versus Nia last year and Cody versus Gunther. It's just going to be about, who's the best wrestler, right? And that's, that's what we're going to get. Like, there's going to be nothing deep about this feud between Stephanie and Tiffany, or if it's Stephanie versus Jade. But at least with Stephanie versus Tiffany, I think we can, it's pretty safe to say we're going to get a banger of a match because of how talented they both are. So, the question begs, who wins the match between Stephanie and Tiffany? I honestly don't really know. I think I would give it to Stephanie Vaquer, though, because she just won the world title a couple of days ago. So I feel like, even though this wouldn't be her first title defense, this is her first match as champion. I don't think having her lose would make a ton of sense. Tiffany's won a whole ton of matches since being champion, so I feel like the safe pick is to have Stephanie Vaquer win this match against Tiffany at Crown Jewel and become the Crown Jewel champion. Now let's move on to the next match that I think it is pretty safe to say will get added on to this Crown Jewel card, and that is a tag team match between the team of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors, both Asuka and Kairi Sane. Like I said, pretty safe to say this is going to get added on. We just saw the episode of Monday Night Raw where we had the match between Rhea Ripley and Asuka, ending with Rhea Ripley winning, and then Asuka kind of turning heel. She was already pretty much heel before, but that was like the full-on heel turn, spitting the mist into the face of Rhea Ripley, basically painting her into a Smurf. And then we saw Kairi Sane beat down Rhea Ripley until Io Sky's music hit. Io came out to try to help Rhea, and then we saw Io and Asuka hug, looking like, Asuka was going to turn back to being a face. Not for too long. She hit her with a spinning elbow, and then Kairi Sane was also beating down on Io Sky. Yeah, this tag team match, it's going to happen at Crown Jewel. This has been a pretty good storyline. I've liked it, mainly because Rhea Ripley has been kept away from the world title scene. It feels like they can finally do something with her, away from having her go after the world championship every second of the day. Same thing with Io Sky. I know she just had a world title match, but now this is going to take her out of that equation. They can have a full-on feud with the Kabuki Warriors. This obviously has to do a lot with Asuka not wanting Io to be friends with people like Rhea, like Nikki Bella, like Stephanie Valkyrie. She's too friendly around them. Asuka didn't like that. And then obviously, like I said, Asuka ultimately turned on Io Sky. So another reason I also think this is going to get added on is because Crown Jewel is in Australia, the hometown of Rhea Ripley. You're not going to have this card without Rhea Ripley. It would just make zero sense. Every time they're in Australia, Rhea Ripley is on the card. So I initially did think it was going to be just Rhea versus Asuka because it's in Australia. I thought they were going to do a singles match and then move into like the tag team stuff, have the heel turn from Asuka and carries in after, but I'm fine with what they're doing. I think that having the tag match at Crown Jewel is perfect, and I definitely think that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are going to win. That is a dream team for the century. There's no way they lose this match because of how stacked they are, and also because, like I said, it's in Australia. Rhea Ripley losing in Australia, that would be kind of crazy. As for like where things go after this feud, or after this match, I should say, I think it just continues. I think that they are going to feud for a little while longer. I also feel like they're going to get into the tag title mix, both the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and Io, which I think is huge, because in my opinion, even though the titles are on Charlotte and Alexa, and I thought that that would help save the tag team division, it kind of hasn't, because they've been just like in this ongoing feud with Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. Like, it just feels like it's going and going, and there's just, I don't know, I'm not too interested in what's going on over there on SmackDown. So I feel like adding the Kabuki Warriors, adding Rhea and Io into that tag title mix after Crown Jewel, that would be perfect. Like, that, in my opinion, that would help save the tag titles, and then you can have like that absolute dream match between between Io and Rhea versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. That would be unbelievable. They could definitely do that on something maybe like Survivor Series or whatever it is. But I feel like that is the direction they should go after Crown Jewel. But like I said, super excited for this match, this tag team match, and I do think that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky will win this match. The next match that I'm predicting for this Crown Jewel card is a match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between the champion Becky Lynch and the challenger AJ Lee. Obviously, we all saw WrestlePalooza. We saw AJ Lee make Becky Lynch tap out. I feel like that all leads us to the conclusion that we're going to get this match some point. I don't know if it's going to be at Crown Jewel. I'm a little skeptical. We do have 2 more episodes of Raw before Crown Jewel. I thought we were going to see AJ Lee on the last episode of Raw, the Raw after WrestlePalooza. We did not, so that makes me a little more skeptical with this situation. I feel like they might wait to do it. I have no doubt that it's going to happen. I just don't know if it's going to happen as soon as Crown Jewel, but I'm still going to predict it anyway. Why not? AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. We've already seen them in the ring together, and I enjoyed what I saw. AJ Lee's first match back in over 10 years. And Becky Lynch was just an awesome dancing partner for AJ Lee. And now, getting that singles match instead of a tag team match, for the title, I feel like that would just be so important. Becky Lynch has obviously had an incredible title reign, but if there's anybody she should drop the title to, I think it's AJ Lee. I'm going to roll with AJ Lee. I think AJ Lee should win this match versus Becky Lynch at Crown Jewel because, obviously, she's hella over. She's the most over person on the roster right now. Why not give her the title, right? I feel like, I know people are going to say it's too early. She's only had 1 match. Why should she win the title in her second match? I completely get that, actually. I could see a world where Becky Lynch does retain if this match happens at Crown Jewel and then, delay it until, AJ eventually wins the title in the near future. But I think AJ Lee winning it would make sense. I don't know. I'm very torn on this, but I want AJ Lee to win against Becky Lynch, and then you can continue to do the feud probably after. But I feel like there's just so many dream matches with AJ Lee that you could do. You could rerun her versus Nikki for nostalgia. You can run AJ versus Bayley, AJ versus Lyra, AJ versus Roxanne. That's obviously a match everybody's waiting for, and many more matches that I haven't even named yet. But I'm excited for what can happen if AJ Lee wins the championship. But like I said, very torn on this because it would only be her second match back. Probably. I don't assume she's going to have any more matches going into Crown Jewel. But either way, I'm sticking with it. I think AJ Lee will beat Becky Lynch if this match happens at Crown Jewel. The next match that I'm predicting for this Crown Jewel card is probably a little bit unlikely, but I'm still going to go with it. And that is a singles match between Bron Breakker and Roman Reigns. Now, I know this seems super random because Roman Reigns just got written off TV a few weeks ago. He went over to Australia to film his part for the Street Fighter movie, same as Cody. And it isn't, likely for him to really return, or it seemed, until around maybe War Games or even the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season. But he is advertised for Crown Jewel and he was on the poster. So, that leads us all to the conclusion that he's probably going to be on Crown Jewel. I feel like it's weird to advertise him and have him on the poster, but not have him on the show. I don't really see what sense that makes. And if he's going to have any match at Crown Jewel, the only one that makes sense is him versus Bron Breakker. Obviously, he can't fight Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel. Seth Rollins will be occupied with Cody Rhodes. So, in my opinion, that's just not going to happen. We already saw him versus Bronson Reed. They could do something where they do Roman, Jay, and Jimmy versus Braun, Bronson. I don't know who the third member would be. Maybe Brock Lesnar. That would be kind of ridiculous. I don't really see Brock Lesnar teaming with anybody. Maybe at War Games, but definitely not at Crown Jewel. I don't think he's even going to be on the show at Crown Jewel. But, if it's not one of those two matches, I don't see anything else happening with Roman Reigns, right? Because I guess he could, make a special appearance in the main event, which I assume will obviously be Cody versus Seth. Maybe he costs Seth the match and helps Cody, and that also helps, lead to Roman and Cody teaming at War Games. I guess that's a possibility, but I'm kind of getting sick of Roman just, returning in the main events of all these shows and then, costing, Seth or, Braun or Bronson the match or whatever it is, and then brawling afterwards. I kind of don't want to see that. I kind of, want to see him return maybe next week when we have the tag team rematch between Braun and Bronson and the Usos. That is a tornado match, so obviously everything goes. So maybe Roman returns in that match and cost Braun and Bronson, and the Usos win. And then you get the one-on-one between Roman and Bron Breakker at Crown Jewel. That's a match that obviously has, the possibility of being a WrestleMania match or SummerSlam match. But, if they want to do it at Crown Jewel, I'm completely cool with that. Obviously, this is all just anticipation to get us to the end game, the ultimate end game, which is Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, probably at WrestleMania. So it would make sense for Roman to have to go through all these type of matches, like tag team matches against Braun and Bronson, a one-on-one against Bronson, a one-on-one against Braun, the War Games match. He's going to have to go through all of this just to finally get to Seth Rollins, like I said, probably at WrestleMania. So that's what I'm going to go with. I think we're going to see Roman versus Bron Breakker at Crown Jewel. I think it's going to be a heck of a match. I would be super stoked for that. But I think that Roman Reigns would win this as well. I know that a lot of people will probably be upset by that because Breakker's your young star. You want to build your young star. You want to have him win matches. But Roman beat Bronson, and Roman and Jay, they beat Bronson and Braun at SummerSlam. I feel like that trend's going to continue, where it's like Braun and Bronson get the upper hand when they take out Roman for months and they take out the Usos or whoever. But when it comes to actually winning the matches, it's always Roman and Jey Uso. So I think Roman is going to continue to win. I think he's going to beat Bron Breakker in this match. And then, like I said, I think it's going to lead into a big War Games match. We're going to see Roman, Cody, and Punk on the same team, a lot of egos colliding. And then ultimately we're going to get all the way up until Roman versus Seth, whenever that is, probably WrestleMania. So yeah, I'm rolling with a Roman Reigns win over Bron Breakker if this match happens at Crown Jewel. That brings me to the final match that was just announced today for the Crown Jewel card, that being John Cena versus AJ Styles. It is time to rejoice. We are getting AJ Styles versus John Cena on this retirement tour. I am so happy. It didn't look like it was going to happen from the way they were talking about it. Earlier in the year, they said they didn't want to do it because they thought they would put on too good of a match. I guess that was when John Cena was heel. That was so stupid to me. I don't know if that was true or not. But then obviously recently we saw John Cena do a Styles Clash to Logan Paul because he said he's not going to get to fight everybody on this retirement tour, so he's going to start using moves. We saw him do the Edge Spear, the Kurt Angle Slam, the ankle lock, stuff like that. So I didn't think this was a possibility, especially with how limited we are with John Cena dates. We're down to 5 dates, guys. 5 dates. And obviously, there is no dates in between WrestlePalooza, which we just had on the weekend, and Crown Jewel. So, there's not really much of a build we can get with anything with John Cena. I thought that they were just going to run back Cena versus Lesnar and have Cena win the match, which I wasn't going to be that excited for. But it just got announced today that it's going to be Cena versus Styles. And obviously, all you guys probably saw the tweet from John Cena saying he wanted to fight AJ Styles, asking Triple H if that can happen. I don't know if that's storyline or if that was John Cena trying to call his shots because he's infuriated with the booking decisions of his retirement tour, and I wouldn't blame him at all. We saw AJ Styles reply to that tweet saying yeah, let's run it, I'm ready. And now it got announced by Triple H. I don't know if that was all part of the plan. I'm going to say it's not. I don't know what they were going to do with him at Crown Jewel, but maybe plans shifted, and now we're going to get Cena versus Styles. So I am thankful for that. It does suck. We're not going to get a proper feud or build between Cena and Styles. And I get it. They're both baby faces with no titles. So what are they really going to feud about? An AJ Styles heel turn might have been cool, I guess. But either way, we're getting the match. That's all that matters. We'll probably get a bunch of promo packages of the rivalry, maybe like we did with Cena and Lesnar. We'll probably have AJ cut a promo or two. It sucks that John Cena can't at least show up on one episode of Raw to have a face-to-face interaction. Even if it wasn't a heated interaction, I thought it would still be cool to see Cena and Styles in the ring together. But it is whatever. We're getting the match. It's Cena versus Styles at Crown Jewel. So excited. these two have some of like my favorite matches of all time. Not even just John Cena matches, just matches in general. I enjoyed the chemistry between Cena and Styles. They're just so damn good together in the ring. That match they had so long ago where they didn't even leave the ring. Like, that was unbelievable. I hope they, like, maybe do that again and just put on an absolute banger. And I have no doubt that they will. Like, John Cena's been putting on banger matches. Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, Logan Paul at Clash of Paris, Sami Zayn on SmackDown. Forget the awful Brock Lesnar match. John Cena can still put on banger matches. And now he's going up against one of the best of all time in AJ Styles. It's going to be a great match. I'm super excited for it. As for who wins, I think it's obvious. It has to be John Cena. They did him so dirty by having him lose to Brock Lesnar and get squashed by Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. So I feel like John Cena ultimately has to win this match against Styles at Crown Jewel. I don't think Styles winning does anything for him. I don't know where he really goes from here. He's not really doing anything right now of importance. It seems like they stopped him versus Dom for the IC title. He's kind of like been running around with Dragon Lee, going after the El Grande Americanos. He's not doing anything important. So it is good to see AJ get a feud with, not really a feud, but a match, I guess, on a PLE with John Cena that everybody is going to be stoked for. But yeah, I think John Cena will definitely beat AJ Styles in what I think will be an absolute classic. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Don't forget to comment down below what future videos you guys would like to see from me. Alright guys, peace.